Hello everyone, welcome back to the second part of this video series for July 29th, 2010. This article I already covered, but just gives an introduction into what is in the minds of many Americans right now. Is oil from Griffith pipeline spills into Michigan Creek. This was originally posted 2 days ago on a Post Tribune, which like I said is my neck of the woods here in northwest Indiana. This is probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me. And it says here, crews work to keep oil spill from Lake Michigan. So now they're trying to keep it from flowing into Lake Michigan. This is the Washington Post, and this is from today. It says federal officials believe an oil spill that has contaminated a major Michigan river, I believe it was Kalamazoo, was larger than first estimated, and the governor is warning of a, quote, tragedy of historic proportions, much like the BP in Louisiana. And it says the oil should reach Lake Michigan, some 80 miles away, and the vacation communities that depend on it, much like Louisiana. The Environmental Protection Agency, which has taken control of the efforts to contain and clean up the Kalamazoo River spill, said late Wednesday that it believes more than 1 million gallons of oil leaked from a pipeline into Talmadge Creek, which feeds the river. Says Enbridge Incorporated, the Canadian company that oversees the pipeline, had estimated that 819,000 gallons spilled Monday before they could stop the leak. It says by late Wednesday, the oil had traveled at least 35 miles downstream from where it leaked into Calhoun County's Marshall Township, killing fish, coating other wildlife, and emitting a strong, unpleasant odor. State and company officials said earlier this week they didn't believe the oil would spread past the dam, but Tom Sands, Deputy State Director for the Emergency Management and Homeland Security for FEMA and Homeland Security, said during a conference call on Wednesday that he had seen oil that had made it past the dam while he was flying over the area. So it's kind of interesting, right? Because Homeland Security's in there now. Oh, let's see. Are they going to have troops down there and blocking off beaches and not letting the press in like they did down in the south? I guess one of the significant differences between the BP oil spill in Louisiana and this oil spill in Michigan is that they're actually wearing protective equipment and respirators, unlike down in Louisiana where BP was telling and ordering their workers not to wear respirators, and if they talked to the media that they would lose their jobs pretty much. They threatened them. Says the governor, whoever this guy is, declared a state of emergency, which is a state of disaster, which is a state of emergency, which they can officially declare martial law. And it says the president, or Barry Soetoro, has called for Granholm to offer federal support. And it all comes down to this, right? This is where the story was that we just covered. The Michigan leak came up from a 30-inch pipeline, which was built in 1969 and carries about 8 million gallons of oil daily from Griffith, Indiana. So after all that fear-mongering about the stuff down in Louisiana, the spill down in Louisiana, and you know, having private security contractors and Army National Guard closing off beaches. The BP spill, has the damage been exaggerated? Huh. So the Time magazine, Time CNN, is putting out this propaganda piece. Says BP spill, has the damage been exaggerated? Well, I don't know. You know, it's BP was using the dispersant Corexit, which basically dispersed the oil and made it non-visible and spread it out so that you can't see it. But yeah, so it goes in here and it basically tears everything apart and says, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal and it was a little overhyped. And well, yeah, it was overhyped because they don't want you to feel guilty about everything that you do so that you will accept this carbon tax. That's what it's about. But it was also what? It was a way to test the population and see if they'll allow troops to quarantine beaches and evacuate people and right around hurricane season. I'm really surprised, but I'm grateful. I don't live down there, but I'm happy to see that there weren't any kind of manipulated hurricanes that came and hit the Gulf Coast while all this was going on, and then evacuate people and have it be much like Katrina. Or they're going door to door doing gun confiscations and shooting people who want to get the hell out of there. And it says right here, it's also inflicting serious economic and psychological damage on coastal communities that depend on tourism, fishing, and drilling, much like the people in Michigan right now. And this article from MSNBC is EPA 1 million gallons of oil may be in Michigan River. And it says federal officials now estimate more than 1 million gallons of oil may be spilled into the major river in southern Michigan, and governor is sharply criticizing cleanup efforts as wholly inadequate. The U.S. EPA released the update Wednesday night shortly after Governor Granholm lambasted attempts to contain the oil flowing down the Kalamazoo River. She warned of a tragedy of historic proportions if the oil reaches Lake Michigan, which is still at least 80 miles downstream, which we just read. And she called on the federal government for more help, saying resources being marshaled by the EPA and Enbridge Incorporated, which owns the pipeline that leaked the oil, were wholly inadequate. So, you know, that's kind of the crappy part of it, is that people want to be sovereign and they want to go back to having states being able to take care of themselves, but then you have governors that run to the federal government for every swinging thing under the sun and freak out, and that's exactly what happens. So, but that's what it's all about, right? Problem, reaction, solution. Got to have the government come in and save everything, instead of the state of Michigan just paying just one company that will compete, and they get to pick the company that offers the lowest price and does the best possible, offers the best possible service to do a cleanup. Instead, they're gonna borrow a bunch of money from the federal government, and they're gonna be their bitch. But for the sake of the fluoridated water up there, and the animals and the wildlife and the people's general health, hopefully they get that thing cleaned up, man. Because it's getting kind of ridiculous with Chinese oil spills in Utah, oil spills in Louisiana, natural gas explosions, and now this. But don't worry, climate change is undeniable. Research says climate change, quote, undeniable. And this was July 29th, 2010 from Washington. This is from the Associated Press, posted on the charlotteobserver.com. So while we were in this, I guess it's El Nino period, Russia's having some heat going on over there. It's a little steamy. Washington scientists from around the world, which makes you think that all the scientists, the consensus, are providing even more evidence of global warming one day after President Barack Obama renewed his call for climate legislation. What does that mean? You pay a fucking slave tax. Slave, that's what it means. Pay a carbon tax. Declare war on the human. You are responsible for all of this. A comprehensive review of climate change indicators confirmed the world is warming, and the past decade was the warmest on record, the annual State of Climate report. Now, this is really weird, because wasn't it just like within the past 6 months that the emails were leaked that basically said that the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration was manipulating buoy datas because the water was colder than it was anticipated, and that the last decade was cooling? So, I mean, what the hell is going on here, dude? Is this just total doublethink or what? But you know what, guys? This is exactly what I was saying. Louisiana BP oil spill. What did we get out of that? We got people watching oil gushing into the ocean and covering fish, and that nothing was done, and that the government was going to help. And so now we get to feel bad and guilty. And it says, concerned about rising temperatures have been growing in recent years as atmospheric scientists report rising temperatures associated with greenhouse gases released into the air by industrial and other human processes. At the same time, some skeptics have questioned And at least they don't call us deniers, right? Like Holocaust deniers anymore. Now they call us skeptics. Thank you.